Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Amy from With Love by Amy. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we are going to do some DIY heat embossing craft room hacks. I've had quite a few people comment on my heat gun stand that I made myself a long time ago. So I thought I would do a tutorial on how you could make one for yourself if you are so inclined. I did make a new one for this video, and if you stick around to the end, I'll give you details on how you can win the heat gun stand for yourself. All right, so to figure out which size of a hole I needed to put my heat gun in, I took my circle dies, and I just fit them over the bottom part of my heat gun like you see on the screen, just to check and see what size I needed so that I could use the right size hole saw. Yeah, I'm that scientific, obviously. Here's the dimensions of the boards that I used to make the heat stand, and I froze it there on the screen so you guys can check it out. Pretty simple. The bottom is 8 and the rise is 6, and then the bottom is 8 as well. All right, so some home improvement stores will do cuts for you if you buy the wood there. This was at the local Home Depot, I think, and some stores even have like a thing where you can cut it yourself with a handsaw. I couldn't find that at this Home Depot. I know I've seen it at Home Depots in the past, or maybe Lowe's, but my husband has all the tools, so I snagged his saw and I decided to do it myself at home so that I could make an example on video for you guys. It literally probably took me longer to get the saw out and set it up than it did to actually make these cuts. Now, I will say, when you measure your first one, if you're going to do the 8-inch section first, go ahead, measure 8 inches, mark it out, and cut it, and then measure your next one, because the saw blade takes up space. So if you're wanting it to be really precise, don't try to measure all 3 sections and mark them right off the bat. Just make sure you have a long enough board, and then you'll be fine. So there you see me cutting the 8-inch one, and this is obviously I'm very scientific and very, detailed here. So I'm taking that board and I just held it up there, the 8-inch one, and then I'm going to cut it. And I do have glasses on for eye protection because you don't want to get chips of wood in your eyes. So yeah, there I did my 2 8-inch sections, and then I'm going to measure my 6-inch section and cut that one as well. And honestly, that was it for the saw. Then I had to put it away. Like I said, it took me longer to do the setup and the teardown than it did to do the cuts. Like literally, I was out there for like 2 minutes doing cuts. I do always, when I use this saw, I always make sure that I set it down onto the spot that I'm going to cut first to make sure it's lined up right before I turn the saw on, and then I turn the saw on. All right, so here we are. We're about to drill into the boards so we can assemble them. I'm going to assemble this one with these wooden pegs that I have, because I figured if I'm going to give this one away to a viewer, I don't want to send nails in the mail. That would be weird, and also a pain in the butt, because we used an air nailer, I think, on mine. And so I took a drill bit that is just about the same size as the wooden pegs, which I got the wooden pegs at the home improvement store too. And do you see the tape there? I put the tape around. All right, so I put the tape on that drill bit at the length of the wooden peg so that I wouldn't drill too deep into the board, so that the pegs would line up properly. All right, here's me probably not using proper tool procedures, but it got the job done. I'm holding it together and drilling in, and I'm making sure that I stop where the tape starts on my drill bit so that it's not too deep in the board, because when I pound those pegs in through both of the holes, I don't want them to get lost. I want them to just stop where it's going to be flush at the top of the board on the top and the bottom, obviously, but we're making this so it basically would be reversible at this point. Yeah, I'm not measuring, I'm just drilling. Like I said, I'm not super precise or anything. This carpentry thing is not my strong suit. I'm doing it, but it's not like, I'm sure if my husband did this, he'd be measuring and stuff. But I'm putting 2 pegs on each end of the board, of the short board, the 6-inch one for the rise. And I did leave enough space so that if I felt like it needed a third peg, I could put one in the middle. But when I assembled it, it seemed like it would be strong enough. So I am just lining it up and tapping it together to make sure that it goes in all the way, and that I, drilled a deep enough hole in the bottom piece. And look, obviously, because I'm not scientific or anything, I have to figure out which way I assembled it when I was drilling the holes, because literally I don't think things through, apparently. But yeah, so I got all the pegs and I'm tapping them together to make sure that they work, and they do, because my scientificness, I wouldn't or lack thereof, I would not know if it's going to work properly at this point. When you assemble this, I would put glue in there, like put wood glue or craft glue, whatever you're going to use, because I guess craft glue technically could be wood glue. I would put glue in the peg holes, and then I would put glue between the two boards and glue it all together. I am putting felt pads on what I decided is going to be the bottom piece for this. And because I'm going to give this one away to a subscriber, I am not going to drill the hole in the top piece yet. I'm not going to fully assemble it either, because I'm going to ship it through the mail. Not going to fully assemble it because it's going to go through the mail. And this is a little command adhesive hook, but since the command adhesive isn't that strong, I am not going to, I put double-sided adhesive on there, so like a strong double-sided adhesive. This is my heat gun stand that I made a long time ago. This is my prototype. And see, I made a hole that was way too big because I didn't measure the first time. Oopsie. But this, I've been using this one for like 8 years, and I just put that hook on the back to keep the cord out of the way, and I love it. So this is what it looks like when it's all done. And then this is my second little bonus project here. This is an embossing stick, I guess. Heat embossing stick. This is a paint stirring stick from Home Depot, and the gold stuff is an oven liner, which I think I bought a whole big package of oven liner for my craft room to put under the heat gun stand for like $5 at Walmart or something. Or maybe you even have some in your kitchen that you're not going to use. But that Loctite Power Grab double-sided adhesive tape is what I decided to use, because I wanted to make sure that it would stick to the oven liner, because the oven liner is non-stick. So I was just concerned that I needed something that wouldn't, I don't know, fall, like be not sticky enough. And so I just gave it a shot. And I am cutting the oven liner down to the right size with my paper trimmer. Yeah, there's me being precise again. Just holding the paint stirring stick up to the edge just to measure it. And there we go. I'm going to pull off all the backing off the red adhesive, or the red tape. And then we were going to stick the oven liner strip on there. And this, I will give credit in the description box below of the girl who I saw that made one of these before. I honestly don't remember her name, but she did it with a shim. I like the paint stick better because it kind of has a handle on it. I might paint the paint stick to make it prettier, and also, just to cover up the logo of the store that it's from and all that jazz. But we're going to give it a go here and see how it works. I put a little bit of glue, regular craft glue, on the back of this die cut, and then I put some VersaFine or Versamark ink on there, and we're going to use some silver embossing powder on that cloud die cut. And then we are going to pour the embossing powder all over it, and see how the embossing powder is on the oven liner on the stick, but because the oven liner is it's non-stick, it'll come right off there when we're done. So this is really cool, because then when you're embossing something like all over like that, you don't have to worry about like getting a mark from like your tweezers and stuff, like reverse tweezers. That's what I usually use, is reverse tweezers. And I always get a little mark where I don't get it embossed because I have the tweezers. But there we go. It popped right off with the glue, because it's non-stick. So the glue it held it just enough so that it stayed while we were embossing. And look at that. I'm just using a palette knife to scrape that off, and it came off so easy. Like I probably could have rubbed it off with my fingers. This, oh my gosh, you guys, I wish I would have made one of these like forever ago. This is awesome, and it's totally going to change the game in my craft room as far as embossing goes, because look at that. It's embossed all over. It looks amazing. And here's what it looks like as a finished product. You could totally make one of these in like 5 seconds. All right, for the giveaway, I will draw the winner on November 14th, 2023. And I need for everyone who is going to be entered in the drawing to be subscribed to my channel publicly. So I have to be able to see that you're subscribed. And I need you to like and comment on this video. So, but due to shipping costs, unfortunately, this will be a US only giveaway. I will do a giveaway internationally soon. Thank you.